All right, Russ, we are live now and you're the host, so feel free to make me the co-host. I'll be TAing here.
Will do. There you go.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Joan and Vicky.
Nice seeing you again.
Yes. Hi, Mina from the UK right now. Unmute yourself and tell us where.
I'm in London.
Okay, very good. Glad to have Londoners with us. I'm afraid one of the big discounts I'm going to tell you about today won't do you much good unless you get over the pond. But,
When I'm allowed to travel, I might as well.
well, and you can tell us about senior discounts in London. If so, remember that I asked you. Senior discounts. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chip. Or is it Chris?
Sorry, Russ, it's Chip. How are you
Hi.
today?
Very good, Chip. And Joe's got one of my favorite games there.
No, that's a novel I bought from IKEA.
A novel.
From IKEA.
Okay.
Think about IKEA
Yes.
and products you buy from IKEA and what you have to do with those products. It's no fun when I have to explain it.
And the instructions that go with it.
Yeah. And you have to put it together yourself.
Well, usually the instructions don't have any words. They just have little funny looking people who are doing things.
Yes. Never mind. It didn't work.
That's okay. I like it anyway. Hi, Nafia. Welcome back. And Twee and Nelda and April and Miriam, Melinda, and I think I've so far identified everybody at one point who's here. Thanks for being here this afternoon. We'll give it about 2 more minutes for people to join. And Mina is from the UK, and she's already been volunteered by me to tell us about any senior discounts in the UK. My memory is that when I was in the UK last time, I was not yet 60. No, not the last time. One time recently when I was not quite 60. I've been there since I was 60. And I got like one of these historical, what are they called? When you visit the places that are in the National Trust, they give you a pass to all those sites, the national historical sites. And is there one there was there a discount for seniors there? I seem to remember if you were 62, you could get a discount. You're muted.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sort of 60 or 65, you get really sort of good bargains in the UK.
Okay.
You could sort of get discount on trains as well.
That's right.
Get a third off. And if you sort of get travel cards to travel sort of whole day or a whole week in public transport, because it's easier to travel around London in public transport than sort of driving around.
I would never drive there. And I have. It was insane. I would never do it again.
Yeah, parking is a problem.
Yeah. I think
Don't you have to be a citizen of the UK to get those? It looks like at one time I looked into it and it was like, it was
Because
discounted.
even my European friends, as long as you could sort of prove that you're sort of 60, some places are 65. I don't know, like over here, we sort of have like bus sort of passes or train passes or something to show your driving license or something that you're sort of that age. And then you just show that and you get discounts to sort of museums and any sort of those sort
Tina?
of places that the tourists go.
Do you have to book far out in advance?
Not really. I mean, some places, if it's very popular, you might have to queue up, or you could sort of buy a ticket in advance on the day you want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome
The only thing
everyone.
is, on the trains, you have to travel after 9:30 in the morning. That's the only sort of stipulation.
Okay.
Well, I want to welcome everybody to the class this afternoon. I think we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to pick Mina's brain a little bit later about some discounts in the UK. And we'll start off today mostly with discounts in the US, but I want to welcome everybody who's joined us this afternoon for the class. Hi, April and Kathy, some more recent some people have just recently joined us. And Alma, we got one more. Okay, we'll let Alma get in here and then we'll go ahead and we'll start. And this is a class on how you can save money traveling as a senior. I do not have all the discounts possible. In fact, I'm not sure in the US at least you could list all the discounts because so many of the discounts are very local. So I'm going to just give you an idea of where you can get discounts and how much today. And I invite any of you who know of good discounts for travel for seniors, you can put them in the chat today. So we'll kind of gather some of that information. And there you go. Chris has, Chip has put up the National Rail. There you go. That's true. You can get a National Rail pass as a visitor because I've gotten it. And that is a good way to get a discount. You pay a fixed price and then you get a good discount off the tickets. So you have to just calculate ahead of time that you can spend enough on the tickets to match or exceed, hopefully, the discount. So thanks for doing that, Chip. I'm going to do a screen share with you this afternoon. I almost said this morning. It's been a long day already. And I'm going to pull up how to save on travel as a senior. And a lot of us know that iconic site, Notre Dame in Paris. I didn't save money going into Notre Dame as a senior because number one, I wasn't a senior, because number two, I don't remember if they charged anything to go in there. I'm your guide, Russ Eanes from Harrisonburg, Virginia. I'm a writer, walker, and a cyclist. Used to be a book publisher, and now I am a full-time guide with Get Set Up. Love all the energy I get working with older learners. I am an avid traveler. I've been to most of the lower 48 states. I think there's about 5 I haven't been to. They're kind of in odd places. Like I haven't been to Montana, Nebraska, or Iowa. Those are kind of, or Wyoming. They're all kind of in the line. The only other one I've been to east of Mississippi is Vermont, but I can get there one day. I've been to 16 overseas trips and more times to Canada than I can count. I don't really count Canada as overseas. Been to Mexico once, but I'm going back there at the end of this year. As you all know, Get Set Up helps you learn useful skills from people like you so you can do wonderful things, and we learn from each other. So ideally, we can see you and your cameras are on. Thank you for all of you who've got cameras on. You can request a recording after class of this class by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if anyone's joining by live stream, the best way to participate is to join us and register for a class. And we are live streaming today. And lastly, Get Set Up's not paid to promote any specific products. And I also want to welcome Ken, our TA. If you have any issues or problems, Ken will help you with those. Also, if you have questions today, and I invited you to put in the chat any suggestions you have about senior discounts or travel, but if you do have any questions, please also put those in the chat, and I'll work my way around to those. But I'll also pause and invite questions at different points. Our objective today, we're going to talk a little bit about the age at which you are a senior and qualifying for those discounts. We'll talk about some of the types of discounts available to seniors. We're going to look at some sightseeing discounts, some transportation discounts, some things such as free days, which aren't necessarily senior discounts, and maybe talk a little bit about traveling in groups to save money. I'm going to start off today, and I'm going to talk a lot about this one because it is worth so much. This is the America the Beautiful Lifetime Senior Pass. If you're in the US and you don't have this, you need to get one. You can get an America the Beautiful Pass every year. It'll cost you $80. That'll allow you to get into any national park for free. And when I moved here, I used to go out to Skyline Drive, which is about 25 miles away, which is a beautiful national park. It's a Shenandoah National Park, and Skyline Drive is about 105 miles along the tops of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I would spend about $30 a year to get that pass. I would also go down to Assateague Island with my family once a year, and that was about $25 for a week. You add that up, that's $55, not quite enough for America the Beautiful Pass. But when I turned 62, I already knew I was waiting for this. I could get this lifetime senior pass, $80 for the rest of your life. Hang on to that pass. Don't lose it. You can buy it at any one of most of the national parks, not all of them, online. I'll give you a link you can find out online to where you can go to buy one. I actually bought mine last year at Assateague Island, and that lasts for the rest of your life. It also gives you the ability to let anyone in your carload in. So if you've got 4 or 5 people in the car, they can all get in with you for free. So I love this pass, and it used to be only $25. And about, I don't know, 4 years ago, maybe they jacked the price up to $80. A lot of people complained about that, but frankly, that is such a bargain still, in my opinion, at $80 that I would say it is worth it. So if you haven't got that America the Beautiful Pass yet, get one. You can buy them online. There's a small fee for purchasing it online, maybe $5 or something like that. But otherwise, if you go to a park where they have admission, most of the places where they take admission, they will sell you the pass. And that's how I got mine. So for example, around where I live, let me just back up. These are all the things that it gives you admission to. There are 419 national park sites in the 50 states. So that's an average of 8 per state, but some of the states have got a lot more than that. And some of those national parks are huge. So you're getting admission to a lot of real estate. You can buy a guide on National Geographic to the national parks. It also gives you admission to 2,000 national recreation areas. Up to 4 people in a vehicle, eligible at age 62, and $80 for your lifetime. So if you haven't got one of those, get it. I know that within a year, I paid mine off by going to Skyline Drive a few times at Assateague Island. I had already paid off that lifetime pass. So for example, around me, some places I can go is Skyline Drive, which is 25 miles away, coursing along the top of the Blue Ridge. I can go up to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Harpers Ferry is a national historical site. The whole town is like a museum. They've restored a lot of it to what it looked like in about 1860 to 1865 when John Brown staged his famous raid that touched off the Civil War. And so the whole town is like a museum. There's great hiking around there. And to reduce traffic congestion in the town, there's a visitor center about 2 miles out from town. You park your car there and they shuttle you in on the bus. And if you've got your pass, you get in free. By the way, there's also a lot, let me just go back. There's a lot of great hiking around Harpers Ferry. You can get up, it's a low spot where the Shenandoah River meets the Potomac River. At that point, it's kind of low, but there's big bluffs on each side. It's fabulous hiking. And third place I can go to very easily that I go to every year is Assateague Island National Seashore. So there's lots of sites, and this is just a fraction. Actually, here in Virginia, I can also go to Yorktown National Battlefield, to Jamestown National Historical Site. Those are two more that I've been to that are in Eastern Virginia, and there's more. Those are just a few that you can go to with your National Parks Pass. So that's the number one senior perk that I can think of in the US related to travel. And in the last year, a lot of us have found ourselves cooped up at home. And now you can get out and travel. Maybe we're not ready to fly anywhere yet, or maybe maybe the place that we want to fly to isn't ready for us yet. But either way, you can get into all the national parks, and that is a bargain. Anybody else got a national parks pass or want to make a comment or ask a question about it?
We did, but we bought ours back when it was only $10, and of course they're honoring it, so we don't ever have to buy another one. We're going to be going. We're doing a lot of traveling in August, and it says there that only 4 people in the car can go in with a pass.
That's what I understand. Yes.
Oh my goodness, because there's going to be 6 of us.
Yeah, two people can get stuffed in the back down low or something, pretending like they're stacks of potatoes under a blanket.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't want to be home.
I don't think they're going to allow that. No, I believe that when you go in a lot of national parks, they do also charge by person. So it might be that you can get 2 other people.
Mhm.
Well,
The other thing is, it used to be that you were allowed, the senior was allowed to bring 3 other people in with them, so it didn't have to be a car. Has that changed? And it used to be a carload, so regardless of numbers. So it sounds like they've been changing. So
I think I took that off their website.
Okay.
And
They
someone
may
is,
have changed because there's so many larger vehicles than what there were 20 years ago. We used
Well,
to have
that's-
station wagons, but now, with all the SUVs where you can have 7 or 8 people in the car, they probably changed the rules. I think I bought mine at one of these, I can't remember the name of the store that sells camping gear. I think I bought
like
mine about 8 years.
REI or Dick's or something like that.
It was REI. I think that's where I was able to buy mine about 8 years ago, but I don't know if they still do that.
I know I told my brother who lived in Baltimore right before they went up, and they went over to the Star Spangled Banner.
Fort McHenry.
Right. And bought their tickets. But I do remember at one time, because I know I tried to tell them back when their parents were visiting them and were seniors, I was like, go ahead and let them buy the $25 ticket, because then all 4 of you can get in for free that day. And it's going to cost you more than $25 for the 4 of you to buy tickets. But I don't think they did. It's kind of like, but yeah, it's an incredible bargain.
People can buy day passes to these places. People can buy a season pass to just a park. So I know that at Skyline Drive, we used to be able to drive a pass to get into just there for the season. But yeah, someone's asking if these are just for national parks, not for state parks. And the answer is yes, this is just for the National Park Service. I will show you something though that I discovered when I was researching this, because I love my pass that I got last year. And let me show you something on my phone. And some of you that were in my class earlier today with how to use mobile phone for travel may remember this. There is a National Park Service app that you can put on your phone, and there's mine. Looks like this, and you can explore the national park system. And everybody's seen my phone. Sometimes I think I'm doing something and somebody says, Russ, we don't see it. And you can find a park. You can make favorites of parks. You can develop a list. You can check off the place you visited. I mean, that doesn't matter to me. You can find news out about them. So anyway, this is wow, June 15th. That's like today. There's some search crews. Oh, what drowning victim? That doesn't sound very good. But anyway, here's all the National Park Service news, which is nice. And you can find a park by clicking on this. I can just click on parks near me, and I can search within 30 miles, or maybe you can see there's Shenandoah, Cedar Creek and Belle Grove National Historical Park. I don't even know what that is. I've never, look at that. Near me is a national park I've never heard of, Cedar Creek and Belle Grove.
Hey, Russ,
Yes.
is this the National Park Service app or the National Park Trail Guide?
NPS, National Park Service.
Okay.
I'm going to close it again. Look at it. You see it right there on my screen.
Yeah.
Right
All
there.
right.
That's what it looks like. Has a little National Park Service logo.
Okay.
And well, there's webcams. Wouldn't you know that? I'm not interested in just looking at webcams. I have other things to do with my time. But if you're bored, you could look at the webcams, the National Park Service. Going back to find a park, I like this. They list the places that are nearby me. And I'm not parks near me. There we go. I do parks near me, and there it is in a map. At the moment, there's not much. There we go. So that Belle Grove, that's Skyline Drive right there on the map right there. And this one up here, well, let's click on that and see what it says. That's Cedar Creek. And oh, I know what that is. Yeah, okay, I've been by there. Cedar Creek and Belle Grove. That's yep. I know where that one. That's not quite 30 miles though. I think that's a little farther away than 30 miles. That's about 50 miles at the top of the valley here where the Shenandoah River splits is where that is. But if I again get my detail down here, I can see there are lots of places in Virginia. You can see the very big detail. And so you can click on all these places, and that's Fredericksburg, so Spotsylvania, there's one. That's probably a National Battlefield Site, Green Springs. Never heard of that one either. And then here's some of the others in Eastern Virginia. There are more down here. They're just not showing them. I would have to recenter it because they got the Colonial National Historical Park, Jamestown. These are places that are listed right there. I guess they're because it's not within a certain range of where I am. So anyway, isn't that cool? I love this app. You can also see it in a list: Shenandoah, Belle Grove, Green Springs. I might just explore this sometime just by looking at the list and see what's there. I've been to Harpers Ferry a lot. Again, I talk about that in quite a few classes, and that's partly because it's such a fabulous place. It's so near to where I am. So anyway, National Park Service, I think that is just a fabulous perk that you get for being over just 62. You know, in the US, a lot of senior discounts start at age 65. So I like that one because it's just a perk for 62 years. We'll go look back here. Okay, that's Assateague Island National Park. Now, talking in general about senior discounts, I've come up with the rule number one. Again, because there's so many senior discounts for travel and admission to places, there's more than I can list. So I tell people, here's a simple rule of thumb. Ask if there's a senior discount if you're going in somewhere. What do you lose if they say no? Unless you're broke and can't afford to get in because you were reckoning there was going to be a discount. You didn't have enough money. Maybe I can get in if I've got, with the cash I have, if there's a discount, that might work. But just ask if there's a discount. Now, sometimes they'll want to check your age and find out, are you really a senior? I think they identify me as a senior. They won't card me at the grocery store when I buy a beer. I don't know why, but you just have to ask. And I keep getting stories from people over and over and over again. They'll say, I was a such and such, and I asked if there was a senior discount, and they said, yes, there was. So when you're traveling and you want to get admission to somewhere and you want to know if there's a senior discount, the rule of thumb, the best one I can give you is just ask. The worst thing that can happen is they can say, no, there's no discount for seniors. Now, another big discount, and this is one I like because I love Amtrak. And if you have been in my travel classes, you've heard me say this before, that I love Amtrak. Amtrak always offers a 10% discount to senior travelers for coach travel on most trains. Okay, now, doesn't discount It doesn't apply to sleeper travel, which is too bad because I actually like sleeper cars on Amtrak. I'm crazy. It doesn't apply to business class or most trips on Excel. I like this most trips on Excel. I'm trying to figure out, well, which trips on Excel does it not apply to? Because maybe I'd like to take the Excel between Washington and Boston sometime, and maybe I'd like to find out which one. Well, I haven't looked yet, but this is a good thing to know. They get bigger discounts on some flash sales. And this is something interesting, is to just watch out. Amtrak puts on flash sales all the time. In fact, right now, if you didn't know this, until the end of June, and Nifi, I think we were talking about this yesterday. You were the one that brought this up, that it ends the discount, the sale ends at the end of June, $299 for a 30-day pass. And on that 30-day pass, you get 10 segments. So watch out for that. Like if I go over and pick up the train in Charlottesville, say, and take it to Washington, and then get another train and take it to New York, that's 2 segments. A better way to do it would be for me to go up to Martinsburg, West Virginia, and catch the one that goes all the way to Chicago. That's just 1 segment. And you have 30 days once you've taken your first trip to use it. So it's 30 days from when you start it. And Nifia, you told me when that expired. Was it October you had to use it by?
Well, you have to buy it by June 22nd. And then it's
June
120, June 22nd and 120 days. It's good for 120 days from the day that you purchase it.
Okay. Anifia, you're muted.
You actually have, like she said, 120 days or 4 months from the time you take that first trip.
Oh, from the time you take the first trip. So I thought you had to use it within
No,
30 days.
For 120 days from the day you purchase it.
That's even better.
No. Okay. So you have to start it within 120 days from purchase, and then you have 30 days to complete your travel.
Right. So if I had the time right now, and I don't, but if I did, I would go buy one of these and I travel the country, because I'm pretty sure you can get a single train that would count as 1 segment that would take you from Chicago to Seattle. Would I be right? Or is that 2 trains?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's 1 train, but I could be wrong. Even if it were 2 trains, it'd be worth it. I still have the ambition someday to take a cross-country train. However, I will say this. I would want to get a sleeper car if I were going to take a multi-day train. So I'm not sure how that would work with my senior pass. But if you're in the East Coast, especially, actually Midwest, in the Midwest as well, there's a lot of places you can go within 30 days on your Amtrak pass. So look into that if you're interested. It's $299. I think the normal price is $499. I think that's $200 off, which is something around, what's that, 40% off? That's a really good discount. And that's not even for seniors. And actually, I'm assuming that there's not a 10% discount on top of that discount. Does anybody know?
Mm-mm.
I haven't looked into it. But I love to travel by Amtrak. If you have the time, take the time. It's fun to travel by train. At least I think so. It's less stressful than either driving or flying. It isn't as fast as flying, but it is less stressful. It's fun. And you can just relax on when you get on the train. And it's also a more environmentally friendly way to travel. It is perhaps one of the most environmentally friendly ways. I think walking or biking would be more environmentally friendly, but that's a little bit harder, a little more challenging.
Excuse me. Does
Yes.
anyone know exactly where Amtrak goes from what state to what state?
If you go to their website, and they have a very good website, you can look at several things. You can look at route maps. You can look at a national route map. They'll show you everywhere they go within the United States. So you can see all the routes, and you can drill down into that. You can also look at individual schedules. Amtrak is actually pretty good nationwide, and they're trying to get better. This is the thing that has impressed me about them in the last year. They've always struggled financially. And of course, COVID-19 wasn't friendly to them at all. as it wasn't friendly to any part of the transportation industry, but they're trying to expand. For example, here in Virginia, they are opening lines between Richmond and Washington, D.C. to make it more convenient for people to travel by train. The Northeast corridor is a really favorable place. They have auto trains that go to Florida from Virginia, somewhere out near Washington, D.C. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the town.
Lorton.
Lorton, thank you. You can go from Lorton to, is it Orlando? With an auto train, you can just park your car on the train and take the train down, and then you have your car with you in Florida. Did that help, Cookie?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions before I move on? Hang on. About Amtrak or the National Park Service Pass. Hey, there might have been a question about that too. Okay, let's talk about AARP. They also have a lot of discounts for travelers. They have other discounts besides travel discounts. We'll focus on travel discounts today. If you have to join, however, Michelle's got her card. AARP is the American Association of Retired Persons. And if you join for 1 year, the normal membership is $16 and you get the magazine as a perk with it. But if you join right now for 1 year, they'll give you a discount for your first year for $12. I think they'll give you a multi-year discount as well.
That's how I found out about all these Get Set Up classes, was an article that was in the last newsletter I got from AARP.
There you go. And even I've been in an article in AARP. If you go to AARP online magazine, you'll find I'm in there. You would easily get back in a year the discounts at AARP that you would pay for membership. And I don't even have a membership. When I researched the class and I saw this, I thought I better go get my AARP membership. I used to have an AARP membership. I don't currently have one, but I should get one. That's not much, $12 for a year. Again, you will easily save that in discounts. And they have lots of travel discounts. I'm not going to show you the list because it is huge if you go to their website. Well, you know what? I will show the website. Let's go to the AARP and I'll show you the I'll show you all their list of discounts. If you go to their site, here are all their discounts, member benefits. You click on this, and here are all the discounts that you can get, lots of them. Now, here's where you hit the travel section. And when I said I wasn't going to show you, but I'm showing you. You can get car rental, budget rent a car. Now, I've got to say, in some cases, you may have something else that gets you a better discount than this. Sometimes a certain credit card will get you a better discount, or some other membership, some other perk may beat this. But if you don't, this is great. And it never hurts to look. Lots and lots of hotels give you AARP discounts. The list is huge. You can see that right there. Long list. The question is, what doesn't give you a discount? So lots and lots of discounts. Travel planning, they give you assistance with. So you'll get this link in your notes. AARP is a good place to get discounts on travel. And again, you should make back in a year whatever you pay for your membership. Anybody got a question about AARP discounts?
I used AARP for doing my taxes for free. They have volunteers to do it. And I didn't belong at first. And I thought, well, I will just go ahead and join AARP. They couldn't do it this last 2 years because of COVID. But before that, I could go to a government place and have my taxes done for free. And the last couple of years, they had come to where I live in a retirement community. And it was all elderly volunteers that did the taxes, and they did a great job. Price couldn't be beat.
There's other senior groups too that offer the same things. It just.
Okay, so someone asked me at what age is the senior discount for well, what age do you have to be to get the senior discount? Well, this is Amtrak's page right here. And there's that limited time offer right there, $299. And that's again to anybody by June 22. So that's a week from today, you got to get that. A saving of $200 off the regular price for a 30-day pass. And it's less than $30 per ride, which is really good. I know just if you're in the East Coast here, that'd be quite a bargain. Let's look here and see if there's anything about senior, when you get senior discounts. Let's look, reward updates, multi-track, Amtrak store, unique. Well, I don't see it yet. I'm thinking that it's 62 years old, and I'm not sure why I'm thinking that. And I do think that you may have to plug that in when you're trying to get a ticket. So
Hey,
here we
Russ,
go. Yes.
I'm wondering if multiple people can share the same pass. You know, like if you have 10 segments and you're not going to be using all of them, if other people in your family can take and use some of the segments. That might be something to explore.
Yeah, that would be worth exploring. I have a hunch they would say no. Here it is, age 65 is for senior discounts. Well, rats, I'm not quite there yet. Just give me a few more months. That's all right. So here you go. It doesn't apply to non-Excella business class, first class, or sleeping accommodation. But one thing I forgot to mention is that they're often flash sales on the Northeaster, and the Northeaster goes from, is it Portland, Maine to Boston? They often have 50% off sales for seniors. I don't think that goes all the way to New York. I think it's just Boston to Portland, which is a train trip I'd like to take someday. So this is the answer, 10% for seniors. And that's on top, I think, of any discounts here. It says, nope, I'm wrong. The senior discount may not be combinable with other discount offers. Okay, sorry about that. However, it's worth it if you can't get any other kind of discount offer. So, by the way, it doesn't include other throughway connecting services. I'm not sure what that means. We'll have to do a little bit of research to find out what that one is. So let's come back here to how to save money on senior travel. We're looking at AARP. Other countries that you might go to have senior discounts. And as I was having a little banter at the beginning with Mina, we were discussing the UK. And then I think it was National Heritage might have been the name of the kind of organization for all the historical sites you can see in Britain that have a fee to get in. And I know that as a visitor, each time I've been there, not at each time, but several times I've been there, I've gotten one of those passes over like 2 weeks or something like that to get into places. I paid for it and it's worth it. But my memory was when I was in Scotland in 2016, I saw that at age, I think it was 60 or 62, you can get a discount on those, a senior discount on those passes as well. So it's worth it. And I believe you can also get senior discounts in France. And in many countries in Europe in particular, they call seniors people that are not 65 like in the US, might be 62 or 60. By the way, this is Salisbury Cathedral. And if anybody was in my class yesterday where we were discussing scaffolding being around the sides of cathedrals, there's yet another cathedral picture I've got with scaffolding up the side. Salisbury, by the way, is my favorite cathedral that I've seen so far in England. I've seen 6 of them. Anybody got any points? Mina, can you think of any other senior discounts in the UK that I haven't mentioned? You might want to mute yourself.
Yeah, as you sort of said, National Trust is very, very good because it sort of takes you to stately homes and sort of parks and that. So if you're in the UK, and if you come to UK regularly, then that's quite a good one to get. And for that, you have to be sort of 60. Some places, if you're just going for a day, it might be 65. So when you turn up, you could just ask what the sort of age limit is. Is it 60 or 65?
I
And
know that
also-
I
Go
have
ahead.
that suggestion in the UK. If you go to the box office for the theater, at least this is pre-COVID, and ask for concessionaire, which is either seniors or could be students, you can get a, usually half off or a special price.
And
That's
especially
great.
if you sort of turn up on the day and you sort of say that, okay, what I want to go to see a play or a musical or something. What tickets have you got available? And you could get some really good price tickets at a very discounted rate rather than booking it in advance.
Yes, just ask for concessionaire.
Yeah. Even if there's no concession, just ask, have you got any tickets going for today? And if you're willing to sort of go and see something in the evening and you're in London during the day, you could sort of pick up really good tickets.
And is that Covent Gardens where all the shows are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of Shaftesbury Avenue and Covent Garden, Leicester Square.
And
Also, speaking of in New York, if you're a senior on the day of the performance, you can get tickets to the Metropolitan Opera for $25. And you're allowed to buy an extra ticket, so in other words, your companion does not have to be a senior. So, and they're not up in the altitude section either. They're just what's left. So that's an incredible bargain.
very good.
I
was going to go ahead.
Sorry. I just have one question. If there's two of you and you're both sort of over sort of say 62, do you have to get separate passes if you're in US, the senior passes? For example, like wife and husband, if they're both in their 60s, do they have to get a pass each or one pass would do for both?
You mean for like museums or things like that?
The National Park Service or
the park service from the senior one.
The park service, it's for the carload. So
and it used
in my case, I had the card, and my wife just comes along with me. But if she could drive into the park too and just show the card, they wouldn't stop and say, "Hey, wait, you're not Russ."
Okay. Thank you.
But there are a lot of places that I think, like I said, like the Castillo and Fort McKendree and all that one pass used to be able to get 4 people in. So it meant that, if your husband, would get a husband and wife, you both would not have to buy one.
Okay.
But I don't know if they've changed that.
Yeah, what I read was 4 people in a car. But I'm going to check that again just to verify that.
Well, that's correct, because I took some younger people with me to Yosemite and we got in free because we were less than 4 and they were not seniors. But I was, and I had the pass.
Yeah, I wouldn't give one of my pass to one of my sons that wants to go up to Skyline Drive. I think they would suspect something. But
actually, I know here what they do is if you've got a senior pass, you also have to show a driver's license to confirm that it is you and that your age. So in other words, you just can't whip out your pass. You usually also have to. So that prevents you from me handing my senior pass to Russ or something like that, or someone that doesn't have one.
Any more discounts anyone else wants for travel that anyone else wants to mention that I haven't listed so far?
I think in Europe, it's just a matter of, like you said, just checking ahead of time in guidebooks and online as to whether or not they have senior discounts.
I would say generally, if you're over 65 anywhere in the world, you're in luck for senior discounts. Between 60 and 65, it's going to depend on.
Not everywhere, though. It's interesting.
I have a question. What about flights, like, for instance, to Europe on the airlines? Do airlines give senior discounts?
Believe it or not, they sometimes do. And I haven't had time to research that. But when I was looking at some flights today, I saw some airlines that may have had some senior discounts. They're not going to be very big, and they might be 10%. Anybody else have any experience with that? I'm thinking like United Airlines.
I know Southwest has a senior fare, but sometimes that senior fare, and you have to have proof of age, but those are refundable tickets, but they're usually more expensive than their quote want to get away fare, which is their, saver fare. But like I said, they're refundable and they're,
Yeah. One of the things about senior discounts is that for many cases, there are other ways you can get a discount that might beat a senior discount. Some membership you have, some cards you have. But that's why I like the National Park Service. There's no way you can beat that discount, that $80 for a lifetime ticket. There's, like I said, there's other times you can get money off on something, a discount for some other reason than being a senior, and it's more than you get as a senior. Anybody else got any insight or suggestions about senior discounts on travel?
I have a tip, and I'm not sure it's for seniors or not, but I just went to England prior to COVID. And if two people travel, there's a special ticket where two people travel together, you get reduced train tickets. But you have to travel together.
Yes, that is true. And I've used that one.
It's good though, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I like to travel by train in England.
Some of the museums in Europe give senior discounts, but only if you're an EU member.
Right, which is one thing you have to watch out for, because as I was researching some of the senior discounts in the UK in particular, in every case, several of them were specifically for UK residents. Chip has got a United link here. Also something in Money Talk. He's got some discounts. And so I'm going to click on the one for United, just see what that pulls up here. And is everyone seeing my screen here?
No.
Okay. It says, well, I'll just read you what it says. United offers senior fares to selected travel destinations for customers who are 65 and older. So select is the key word. Well, it's been a great class. Any more suggestions anybody has about senior discounts for travel?
One that kind of goes along with yours about just asking for one. We tend to think of the big chains restaurants as being the places where you get the big discounts, but I've gone into little mom and pop diners and found out that you can get a discount there, and some places don't have a discount, but when you ask the clerk about it, they'll say, oh, well, we have specials once in a while. I'll give you the 10% discount.
There you go.
And you can get it. So just because it's not a major restaurant chain doesn't mean that they don't have discounts. So
That's
like
right.
you said, so, perfect example of what you said, just ask. All they can do is say no.
That's right. And remember, coffee's free at McDonald's if you're a senior. I'm not advocating for it, but I am saying it is free.
Depends.
At Wendy's too.
At Wendy's.
It depends. Everyone is different. Some have a discounted one. Some have you have to ask, because I know at Wendy's, it's like sometimes the seniors get a free coffee. Sometimes they get 10% off the whole ticket. It depends on the owner. And other times the senior coffee, like here, my McDonald's, the senior coffee is 60 cents instead of 99.
Mhm.
So it depends on.
I haven't found it to be free. Usually it's like 50 cents if you ask for a senior coffee. They don't. Yeah.
It depends on.
That's what I've paid too. It's 50 cents.
It depends on the owner. I've had two McDonald's here where one time I was getting on a trip and I thought, oh, I'll just get it on the trip on McDonald's out south, and I went through the drive-through expecting to pay my 60 cents. And at that one, it was 70 cents. And it was like, what? So it really, because they're independently owned. It's up to the owner.
Well, thanks everybody. Great class. Always love to share things that we can save on as a senior. I still remember back when I was about in my mid 50s and I was going through airport screening and the sign said, if you're 70 or older, you don't have to remove your shoes. And I remember thinking that gives me something to look forward to. But now they have TSA pre-check and I don't have to remove my shoes, so it doesn't really matter. But I want you all to come back to more travel classes. This evening, we have our single and solo travel class. This is an interest group for people that are interested in finding others they might like to travel with because they travel by themselves, or maybe are having to travel by themselves. Maybe they didn't want to travel before. Tomorrow, I'll be doing at 11:30 the top international travel tips. I love that class. And then tomorrow at 2:30, we've got Melinda Reconce here who's going to do home exchange. So if you haven't had come to that class or are curious about what home exchange is, come to that class. It's the first one of two classes. Next week, at the end of the week, she'll be doing a follow-up class where she talks a little bit more at the nuts and bolts of how you actually get into home exchange and list your house, find places to go. And tomorrow evening, a fun class for Father's Day, which is coming up next Sunday. I'm not going to be around, going on vacation for a few days, so I won't be around for Father's Day. I'm doing a Father's Day class called Travels with My Father. It's about how I found the places that my father traveled to over 50 years ago, sent home letters, postcards, and took slides. And I found the places while I was traveling to some of those same spots, got pictures of some of the same spots he took pictures from over 50 years before. It was a lot of fun. So if you want to join us for that tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern time. Thanks for coming, everybody. Enjoyed having you all here. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. It was enjoyable and I learned a lot again.
Russ,
Thanks, Russ.
Yeah, bye.
You take care, Russ. Have a
I
good one.
noticed you tried to call me.
That was an accident.
Okay.
I do that with my phone. My phone doesn't switch off. So long, everybody.
Okay.
Take it easy.